There's often this debate in our office, the water cooler chatter about the best bow hunters on the planet. The conversation usually starts out with, if you could pick one guy to get it done in any place at any time, who are you picking? Or if you were in the Great Plains, who would you pick? Or if you were in the big woods, who's the guy? You know, sometimes it gets pretty funny, it gets pretty heated, but the bottom line is, regardless of when we're having these conversations, the same names come up over and over and over and over again. So we thought it would be a fun video to put together the 5 deadliest bow hunters on the planet. With any all-time great list, there has to be a baseline, or has to be some criteria of how that list was actually compiled. Our deciding criteria for the 5 most deadliest bow hunters on the planet revolve around a few key points. Number 1, they have to have the ability to get it done anywhere in the continental United States. No specialists. You know, there's a lot of guys out there who are just flat out killers. They're great whitetail hunters, but they only hunt ag ground, or they only hunt swamps. You put them in a different environment, something foreign to them, and they struggle. So you gotta be able to get it done anywhere on the planet. Number 2, no outfitters. This is a DIY list. You know, public land, knock on door, free permission properties. And there's nothing wrong with outfitters. But the bottom line is, figuring these deer out, knowing where to set up, when to set up, that is the battle. You could put anybody in a spot and let them be the trigger man, but figuring these deer out, how they're moving, and how you can get in position to kill is what is so challenging about hunting these great whitetails. Number 3, they gotta be better than Pope and Young, so 125 or better. And let's face it, not all of us care about inches, but yet we do. Everybody wants to shoot big bucks, and we all want to see other people shoot big bucks. Number 4, these guys have to be well-known. They don't necessarily need to work in the hunting industry, but they gotta be well-known people, because we have another video dropping soon with all the guys that no one's ever heard of. Number 5, the last point, these folks have to be able to not only talk the talk, but walk the walk. You know, in today's world, there's a lot of people doing podcasts, writing blogs, putting out YouTube videos, and there's a lot of guys that can talk about deer hunting, but there's only a handful of guys who can actually go out and get it done anywhere on the planet under any circumstance. So you have to have the body of work to be on this list. So after we get through our list, we would love to hear who your top 5 are. So be sure to let us know down in the comment section. Maybe you agree with us, maybe you disagree, but we would love to hear your opinion. So coming in at number 5 on our list is none other than Tony Peterson. Tony's probably most known as a member of the Meat Eater team and for his writing. He's an accomplished DIY bow hunter that has basically written for every major publication and content outlet in the outdoor space. And he's done so on the back of his experience and success. Tony prides himself as a public land advocate and says that 85% of his whitetail hunts are on public ground. He focuses on short, out-of-state trips where he holds scouting as top priority. There's nothing fancy about what Tony does. He just does the work and focuses on the basics. There's no gimmicks, there's no gadgets, there's no frills or fancy talk. Like the others on the list, he scouts until he knows exactly where to set up to kill. There's nothing by chance in Tony's strategy. It was pretty hard to actually dig up some stats on Tony, but here's what we know. He's killed in Kansas, he's killed in Wisconsin, he's killed in Minnesota, he's killed in Nebraska, he's killed in North Dakota. Tony likes to focus his out-of-state trips on dates outside of November so he doesn't have to deal with non-resident pressure. And his favorite time to hunt whitetails is in early October. Coming in at number 4 on our list is probably the most well-known guy. He's a fan favorite, and that is none other than Mr. John Eberhardt. John's the OG of the group. He's the vet, he's the pioneer of the space. John's a flat-out killer, and he lets you know about it. He carries himself with what I would consider a manic level of detail, from how he hunts all the way down to how he stores his clothes and gear. He hauls around in a whitetail minivan labeled as the Wagon of Death. We've gotten to know John pretty well over the last several years, and he is one of the best bow hunters to ever carry a bow through the whitetail woods. Here's a rundown of John's accomplishments over the years. He's hunted in Michigan for over 53 seasons and has gone on out-of-state trips for 23 seasons. He has 32 bucks over 125 inches in Michigan on a multitude of properties. He has killed 21 bucks over 125 on his out-of-state trips, and he's held the Michigan state record for a few years, which is a buck he killed back in 1981 with a muzzleloader. Coming in at number 3 on our list is a guy who is a little unusual, from how he hunts all the way down to the clothes that he wears, and that is Jared Scheffler. The mastermind behind Whitetail Adrenaline, Jared's been at it for a long time. Like others on our list, Jared gets it done everywhere. One of the things that makes Jared's body of work stand out is the fact that he is using traditional archery equipment. No compound bows, no guns, traditional archery equipment. Jared focuses on spot and stock strategies where he probably relies on glass more than any other whitetail hunter we know of. We were lucky enough to film a whitetail crib episode with Jared, which is linked in the description of this video, and it was nothing short of impressive. We're not gonna bore you with a bunch of stats, so let's just roll his 20 best bucks. Coming in at number 2 on our list is Zack Fufenbaugh. Zack's a guy who has kind of recently been shot into fame. Everybody knows Zack from THP. Over the last couple years, THP's content has exploded, and at this point, they're all pretty much household names. On the surface, Zack's approach seems to be out of the box. He's on the ground a lot, he does a lot of calling, but really when you take a hard look at what he's doing, Zack's pretty damn calculated. He's ultra aggressive, he covers a ton of ground, but he knows when to go fast and when to slow down. One of the keys to Zack's approach comes from knowing how to slither through the landscape, and in Zack's words, you have to take quality steps and never make back-to-back mistakes where you sound like a human. Everybody knows Zack's resume, and while he probably doesn't have as many bow bucks as others on the list, he's involved into one of the best bow hunters on the planet. New York, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Nebraska, Iowa, North Dakota, it really does not matter where Zack goes, he's gonna kill a good one. Coming in at number 1 on the list, the most deadliest whitetail bow hunter on the planet, Andy May. Andy's a guy who likes to fly under the radar, but quite frankly, he can't. He's really humble about his whitetail resume and what he's accomplished over the last couple decades. But I had a chance to chat with Andy, and his body of work just flat out blew me away. If he wanted to be in the spotlight, there is zero doubt he could be the most known DIY bow hunter on the planet. The dude goes anywhere in the country and kills, often on basically quick, long weekend trips. He is absolutely incredible at his craft. Here's some quick stats. Andy's been bow hunting since 1998. He's killed in 14 different states. He's killed an astonishing 78 bucks. All but 10 are bow bucks and 125 or better. I want that to sink in for a minute. The dude's been hunting for 23 seasons and has killed 78 bucks. The guy has a regular job, life, a family, which makes that so much more impressive. When talking with Andy, he mentioned his passion with hunting is just traveling and hunting new areas, constantly challenging himself to grow by putting himself in foreign areas, habitats, and new situations with very unique circumstances. His goal has always been to improve as a hunter and has never been focused on inches. That's why he continues to tackle new areas. We want to know who you guys hold as your top 5 bow hunters on the planet, so be sure to leave that in the comment section below. And if you liked this video, if you thought it was fun, if you thought it was unique to tune in and listen to our opinions, be sure to smash that subscribe button for us.